What? Bang!
Pro Wrestling Podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep through rep.
Yeah.
Woo! Who are you to doubt El Dan? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it? Unbelievable.
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for. It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Hey, look, are you sick and tired of dropping so much money every single year on the latest and greatest wrestling game, and they barely tweak the thing year to year? Keep funneling in that cash. No, let's stop doing that. Stop feeding the machine. Put that money back in your pocket. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable, available totally free right now, app.wrestlerunstoppable.com. You can create a wrestler, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available totally free. Once again, that's app.wrestlerunstoppable.com. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shoutouts like my good buddy John down in Texas, then pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. We have a loyalty rewards program. If you're a $15 a month contributor, you get to co-host with me. $7.50 a month. We will enter you into a drawing to also co-host a show with myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, anything at all you'd like me to talk about, I'm cool with that. You got to let me know. And the best way to do that is the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line, 267-642-1160. And I will get to those questions, comments, concerns, whatever it is, in a future episode. Tonight, we are talking WWE Netflix Raw after SummerSlam. A lot to get to. We kick off the show with Roman Reigns coming out, cutting a promo, showing a lot of respect to Seth Rollins, certainly because of where they were at tonight. Absolutely loved this entire segment. Then we get LA Knight to come out. And of course, we've all been anticipating an LA Knight thing happening very soon. And now we're actually going to see this thing kick off. Now, the problem is I don't think he beats Roman. And I really want to see LA Knight get that WWE Championship at some point of some kind. I don't think it's going to happen right now. I really don't. I wish they'd push him off a little longer, really annoy him. I don't care who it is. You get somebody else in there to be a competitor for a little while and just keep pushing him off, and give him the championship somewhere else. I don't think he's going to do it right now, but we're going to get to see the match because after the back and forth, the barbs, calling each other's imposters, fakes, whatever, frauds. I think that was the term used, was frauds. Both guys making good points. I'm just going to be honest, they were. I didn't love the making fun of LA Knight for wearing Walmart watches and things like that because, you got people in the crowd that are probably doing the exact same thing that might be offended by that, and you're supposed to be a good guy. But Roman Reigns and LA Knight going back and forth, Roman not wanting to give him a match, but then leaving the ring, him talking more trash, and then him leaving Roman in the ring. I thought it was really good. I really did. I thought it really sets the stage for what could be phenomenal, especially because LA Knight's great on the mic, and Roman's getting much, much better. So hopefully whoever choreographs or skits out whatever they're going to say really takes the time to make this meaningful, because I think this could be a really cool feud going forward. From there, we get Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. I feel like this is the 300th time we've seen this match as well. This time again, Javon Evans does this. He leaps over the referee, gets to the corner, hits the OG cutter off the top turnbuckle. It looked awesome. Ethan Page kind of dropped to the knees a little funky, but it was fine. It is what it is. He wins again. And I feel like it's a broken record. Every week, it's either he and Ethan Page or he and Rusev or whatever. I want them to move past that. So maybe that's what they're doing now, because we saw the return of Big Cass, who attacks Javon Evans, lays him out. It almost looked like he was giving him a bear hug for a little while before he hit him with his finisher. You know, it was fine. I'm fine with Big Cass being a monster heel. I really am. But I'm a little frustrated because we were all kind of excited. If they were over before, Enzo and Cass were huge in the past, and people who really loved their presentation before, really hoping to see them back together. I don't know how you factor Enzo into this, if he's even coming back still. Maybe they turned the page on him. Maybe they decided not to sign him. I don't know, but I really would have liked to have seen them both. But instead, all we got was Big Cass. But he comes out, he lays out Javon. What an interesting feud to start him with, because I don't really want to see Javon take any losses, but I don't want to see Big Cass either, since he just got back. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Then we get Roman in the back. He's talking to the rest of the bloodline. You know, basically giving them attitude about how they didn't pick up a win. They have to get wins. That's what the family needs. At one point, he really goes into Jacob about this, you know, family comments about Royce Keys. He questions about who really is his family, basically talking about how Royce Keys is not in his family, and making it clear he wants him to handle that business. But that he wants everybody to leave LA Knight alone because he's going to handle him, which tells me we actually might get this match right away, which, again, I don't think is a good idea in terms of LA Knight having a shot at the title, but, you know, still make for a great feud. So I guess that's what we have to look forward to. And obviously Jacob and the Usos have their own issue. LA Knight walks by and kind of punks him out a little bit because they're not allowed to touch him. But I'm curious to see where this goes in the coming weeks. From there, Liv Morgan cutting a promo, talking trash, greatest women's world champion of all time. And we end up getting Sol Ruca and Roxanne to come out to have their match. Again, this is like a weekly thing. 3-on-1. Sol Ruca had no chance to win the match. You already knew there was going to be some kind of interference. I guess technically she won the match by disqualification because the referee caught Liv Morgan trying to stop her from hitting the Soul Snatcher. But again, it's trash. It's more outside interference. It's lazy booking. I was not happy with this. I was more excited about the after the match stuff where Becky Lynch's music hit. The fans were way into Becky. And she came out, and I love how Raquel Rodriguez acted like she was coming for the Intercontinental title, and she goes, "You think I'm here for you? I got done making that title famous. I'm here for you, sweet cheeks," and she points to Liv. I'm okay for that feud. I want to see that feud. I think it's going to be a fantastic feud. But then we get, as they leave the ring, we get the return of Stephanie Vaquer, who basically beats up half of Judgment Day, 2/3 of Judgment Day, and then chases Liv back into the ring, beats up on Liv a little bit until she finally retreats. And then we get a face-off with Stephanie Vaquer and Becky Lynch, which, again, I'm fine with that match too, but, like, who is challenging Liv? I don't want to complicate it. We need both of these women to challenge in separate feuds. Spread this out. I'd much rather see the Becky Lynch thing, actually, because we've already seen the Vaquer feud. But I guess if you got to wrap up the Vaquer stuff, you have him face her first and then get to Becky Lynch. But either way, hopefully they do something better than they'd had the previous several months with that championship and make it relevant again. From there, backstage, Paul Heyman standing around. Oba Femi walks up. Mad respect for Brock. Tells Paul to tell him thank you when he sees him. Paul Heyman giving Oba a ton of respect. I really loved everything about this. I don't know if this is a face turn for Paul Heyman, if he's going to take Oba on as a client, or what this is going to mean. But I really enjoyed all of that backstage stuff. Then Oba goes to the ring, cuts a huge promo. He's going to lead a new generation of superstars. That he really puts over Brock all over again. I love that. And then he talks about how anybody in the old guard that has a problem with it, he's going to have to, answer to him. He's the ruler, And I thought it was interesting in the graphics. They kept referring to him as the King of the Ring, which he hasn't used that championship match. And it sounds like they might let him cash that in, almost like Money in the Bank at some point. At least that's the impression I'm getting from some of the commentary I've been hearing. So he's cutting his promo. When he's done, he's leaving the ring. They show him walking to the back, which is not characteristic of a normal Raw. But then we see why. They cue the Vision's music, and as the Vision walk out, Braun Breaker decides to get in Oba's face. Not once, but twice. It's obvious that they listened. We've been predicting it on this show. They sampled this in Europe when they were doing the overseas tour in a house show dark match. between Seth Rollins and Oba taking on the Vision, and the fans went nuts for it there. I think this would be phenomenal. I'd love to see this. As they do their little face-off, we end up going to the ring. It's supposed to be, Braun Breaker versus Joe Hendry, and this match goes very little time. I love that Joe Hendry beats up Austin Theory outside the ring, throw him over the announce table and all that stuff just to come into the ring and get speared and pinned in short order by Braun Breaker. I hate that they're burying Joe Hendry so much, but he's lost all his mystique. There is no saying his name anymore when he appears or any of that stuff. So I don't know, maybe figure something out, because you lost all the interest that we had in him. And that Danhausen segment a couple weeks ago didn't help anything. No Danhausen tonight, though. I thought that was kind of strange. Good thing, by the way, so we don't overexpose him too much. But yeah, Braun over Joe Hendry. Then we get Chad Gable coming out and thanking the fans, thanking Penta. Penta comes out, congratulates him, calls him a true luchador and all that. And the two of them get interrupted by Dom Mysterio and JD McDonough, because there's going to be a tag team match between the four of them. And of course, Penta and Chad Gable end up winning the match. Very solid match. I love the fact that Dom Mysterio tries to hide the hammer, the bell keeper's hammer in his boot again. Chad Gable catches it, pulls it out, shows the ref, turns it in, and then Penta waffles Dom with the belt, which enables Chad to get the win. I thought that was hilarious. So they pick up the win. Another solid match. I actually enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was a good match. From there, we go to the back. Another backstage segment. This time, Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, who haven't interacted a lot lately on TV. And Braun telling Paul Heyman that he wanted to know where Oba Femi was because of Oba Femi getting in his face earlier. And he wants to handle that business. And then Paul Heyman asking him, how would I know where he is? He goes, well, I figured you were his new special friend. Implying that there's already an elite alliance there between he and Oba. I would much rather have, based on the fact that if you watch the match, and I breezed over this, when Braun was facing Hendry at the end of the match, once he wins, he just leaves the ring. He leaves Austin Theory behind. He doesn't even walk to the back with him. Theory's out at ringside. He ends up jumping into the ring and attacking Joe Hendry more until Akira Tozawa saves him. And Tozawa looks solid in this. So now having Braun go back to Heyman, I thought maybe we get a thing where Braun wants Heyman and keeps him as his manager or something. And then this happens, and now I don't know what to think. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. From there, main event time, Jacob Fatu, Royce Keys in a street fight. They had a vignette or a backstage segment earlier where they were, Royce Keys was trying to rectify everything, and Jacob decided he wanted to have this street fight. It was a good match. It really was. It went a decent amount of time, especially for a televised match. Lots of, tables and weapons and things. But then the end of the match sees Royce Keys get put through a table. The moonsault into the Tongan death grip. Jacob wins the match because he passes out, goes back and starts giving him the Tongan death grip again, and then ends up, splashing him, putting him in a corner, putting a chair on his head, and everybody runs out to try to stop it, and he acts like he's leaving, comes back in the ring and splashes Royce Keys with his head in the chair. He's bleeding from the mouth really profusely, and then we see Roman Reigns' music hit. He comes to the top of the ramp and puts the one up in the air and shakes his head in agreement that he's proud of Jacob for doing this. And all that I thought was going to be the end of the show, but then we got what is absolutely the craziest part of the night for me. Roman goes back into the back, and he's stopped by Rey Mysterio, of all people, who shakes his hand. And I was like, wow, they're going to do a Rey-Roman match? And that's not what we got. Instead, we got Rey saying, you know that I'm the general manager of AAA. And he says, well, I know now. And he goes, he basically wants to talk to him, a proposition he has for him. Now, as we know, Triple Mania is coming up in September. 2-night event. Are they going to involve the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns in that show to get ticket sales, to pop the rating or whatever? Very possibly. Is it being used as counter programming for AEW? Very easily. So I'm excited to see what they do with this. I was not expecting it. Wasn't advertised for the show. Should be very interesting. And I just never thought I would see a Rey Mysterio, Roman Reigns, any kind of interaction, much less this. Certainly not this late in Rey's career. So we'll have to wait and see how things play out. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. We run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks, as always, to Suno for creating music sound effects we use on our show. Today's show is sponsored in part by Beezle Games. They have the game Sketchy People. There's also the game Banani Market and Legendary Elements. All 3 games available on thegamecrafter.com. So Sketchy People is like a Chutes and Ladders meets Pictionary kind of artistic-y thing. That's from Beezle Games. We have Banani Market. You test your shopping skills against the rest of the field by Doodle Games. And then from Foo Games, Freddie Foo Games, we have Legendary Elements, where you travel around the cosmos collecting everything you need to win the ultimate prize. Check out all 3 games at thegamecrafter.com. Grab your copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to my website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us today. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.